Hello everyone. This is obviously Grandmaster Hack. But seriously, another day, a Wii U video. This is probably like the most prolonged video for me ever. Because you don't really know what to talk about. There's a lot of stuff to talk about the Wii U. And I guess I'll just say or talk about why people are so confused about the criticism of the Wii U, or why it's getting talked about a lot. I say one, first off, it's the only next-gen console out. And then I'd move on to the complete controversy. And no, before we all get started about the Wii U controversy, I'm going to hear a lot of people say, oh my goodness, no one's ever criticized the other consoles like this before. Why are you guys doing this? Nintendo doomed since 1985. On all that other bullshit. But the other consoles have gotten this, to be fair. PS3 $600 price point. Have we not forgotten that? 360's Red Ring of Death. Launch of that thing. Have we not forgotten that? PS3 sales for the past, for its first 2 or 3 years, until it actually started picking up. Did we all forget about that? But people just failed to neglect to mention that. Damn it, Facebook. People just failed to mention that. But they just think the Wii U just had it so bad, which honestly, mostly arguing this gen, or the PS3, 360, and Wii gen, was between the 360 and Xbox, honestly. It was not majority of the Wii. I mean, the Wii got in there sometimes, but it was not what everyone was fighting for. It was the 360 and PS3 going at graphics versus Blu-ray versus Red Ring of Death versus Xbox Live and PSN. That was the argument of last gen, honestly. To move on more, why, not on top of that, but the Wii U coming out not doing well, and then not controversially called out weak by the fanboys, but developers, which was kind of insane to me. That, I mean, we all made this shit. What's crazy to me was that it was just so uncredible that what people were saying, that some people were dropping games, credible developers who released good games for other systems, but were just so bullshit here. And when this argument came for the PS3, people ate that shit up and argued it, and it was like literally the same statement coming out for the PS3. The architecture was hard to develop for, or in this case the Wii U, it's underpowered, or can't do this, or it's weak, or can play next gen, can do 1080p, or whatnot, as we're seeing that some of the consoles are struggling. And with the whole game, people were saying this console just came out, blah blah blah. But I've never heard of, when you go down in history, this is probably the first console that, to be claimed successful, the console hasn't failed, not yet, but I'm pretty sure the console won't fail, to be called next-gen system. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling, I'm so distracted. But I just have to get this video done. But to call it next-gen system, but controversially weaker than its competition. I mean, you'd probably have to go back to the day of the Atari, or when they stopped making their console, to be considered weaker of its last generation. But that's how far back you'd probably have to go. That hasn't happened in the last three generations. Not weaker than its last gen competition. And just how it is, I mean, that itself builds controversy for people. I mean, it just in general, like, why would you want to invest if it's not doing better? And for a lot of people who say, well, it's just a console that just came out, but when other consoles came out, they weren't having trouble. I wouldn't say games that were the same quality of last gen games. I mean, a last gen console game should have ran fine, from a 64 game to a GameCube game, which was still a huge graphical improvement, still ran fine. The GameCube version, the Twilight Princess, ran fine on the Wii, and other games that still came out. I mean, there were still some bad games on the Wii. I mean, that's not the best console choice. I mean, Shit, you could even go to the PS 360 with Call of Duty 2, and these games weren't bad. I mean, they weren't. It wasn't as big as a fuckfest how it was with the Wii U, and that's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't that bad. It is with this console, but not really last gen or the gen before, I'm going to say. And that's where the criticism usually comes in at, which the graphics too, and they'll make you go with the price point, which has happened to Nintendo once with the Vita, which I'm not saying the Vita sells or is the best handle in the world, but it just being priced so high, or not so high, or at $350. But if the rumored console, if the PS, that's all I gotta say, the the 720 or the PS4 come out at 400, 450, or even 500, I think Nintendo's kind of in trouble because of what it lacks as a hard drive, as a clearly performing console. I mean, it's just not worth it if it's gonna be a Wii repeat again in terms of games being skipped when it has over 40 games, close to 50 games being skipped just from this year. It's crazy. Because you had developers who had the Wii U was known. We found out about the Wii U 2011. It's 2013, and there have been few games that have been announced. Not over 20 in the course of 2 years. And we're still waiting for games announced. But E3 2012, just getting through 11, 12, just getting them now. Well, it is 6 months. We haven't really heard too much progress since then, which I don't know how you can go in for any console. I'm just going to end it with this. No console from before its first year in is worth it to me. Not the Vita that you guys see me with, not the PS3, not the 360, not the Wii U. No console is. We haven't seen one. And when the PS4 comes out, I'm pretty sure it won't be either. Unless Sony and Microsoft have a good tie on exclusive. Next gen, which I don't think they will, is the same thing's going to happen to them, and they're going to get the same criticism. So please, just stop bitching about everyone's being hard on Nintendo, this whole Doom since 1985, and just this general bullshit. Oh yeah, the controller. I'd like to touch on that. That should be a whole different video. The problem I have with the Wii U controller about how just having a HUD is so innovative on a second damn screen, which is another problem with it too. It's just all developers are using it, putting a HUD on the second screen. And the problem with it is not the same thing as the 3D DS or 3DS. It's because I'm using my 3DS right here. I can see both screens at the same time. I'm not literally taking my Wii U controller and having to look down at that and then choose my decision while the game is still going. You know what? I don't know how that works so much on Mass Effect 3, but it would be fucking terrible to play that on Wii. I would imagine it would be terrible. That would be horrible to actually have to look down, get distracted, choose your shit, and look back up the game. Even if you held like that, how uncomfortable would that be to hold it like that for that long? Like, are you serious? That's that's very strange. And even if it's not the same, even if you're holding it, you still have to look over to the TV, so it's not still a one-to-one like how you have. It's not fixed like how it was with the 3DS or DS. So, I mean, it's literally not the same thing. It's literally distracting. So I can't justify the controller of its current gameplay, what it's being used for. It's just basically an inventory screen and a HUD on there. And to me, that's even a bigger distraction. Even worse. So, what do you guys think of this fiasco? Hope it's going to end. It's going to end, hopefully. It is going to end. It is going to end. Hopefully by holiday season. And I'm planning on getting Wii U, so even though it's flawed and lacks features that 7 consoles had 7 years ago, almost a decade ago, I will still get a Wii U this holiday season. Talk to you guys later, and hopefully after this, post whatever you want down below, why you like your Wii U the best, your best Wii U damage control, or best positive thing of the Wii U. Just post it.